And welcome back to Community Viewpoint. I'm John Pawlak, your host for this segment. And with me today is Robin Flinchum from the lovely little town of Tacoma Hot Springs, do we want to say? California? Okay, we'll say that.
Well, we could say that.
Yes. You're here once again looking for someone to be in charge of the Southern Inyo County Fire Protection District.
Yes. Actually, I'm here today looking for a
chief.
miracle. That's what I'm looking for.
Yes. And nothing bad happened, and something good happened is why she's looking for a replacement for the last gentleman.
Yes.
So tell us a chronological order. You were here 6 months ago?
Yeah, it was probably 7 months ago or so. I will tell you the story. It's kind of a bad news bears story. We had during the pandemic, during the first year of the pandemic, we lost our fire chief. We had an interim fire chief who never wanted the job, but stuck it out for 2 years while we tried to find a replacement. And we just looked everywhere. You know, we ran ads in the Pahrump Valley Times and anywhere we could get in, because running an ad in like the Las Vegas Review-Journal is so expensive. It was more money than we could spend.
Right.
And then we asked our friend Sarah Jane, who is also known as Wonder Hussy on YouTube.
We were saving her picture for later. Let's see Sarah Jane. Let's put her up. There you go.
Now, as I like to say, she likes to dress up in costumes, but to us, she is actually a superhero. She's amazing.
The story continues.
So we went to Sarah Jane and asked if she might be willing to read a help wanted ad on her channel, which she did, and we got one serious response, and it was this a gentleman named Lucas Reynolds, and he came out with his wife, and they looked around, and you know, when I heard he was coming with his wife, I was like, oh no, they'll never stay. But they did. They moved into Shoshone, and it was like a miracle. It was seriously like a miracle. We did not know, I think, what we were capable of. We did not know what we could be until Lucas came and, you know, pulled everything together, pulled the crew together, got things organized, he just breathed life into our fire department in a way we hadn't had in a really long time. And then someone came along and offered him and his wife a really, really good job in the middle of nowhere in Utah, working for the Park Service.
Oh, that's where it is in Utah?
Yeah. So they are in Utah, and we wish them well. You know, I had always been hesitant to hire from outside of the community because I was always like, you know, they won't stay. And, but by the time Lucas told us he was leaving, well, I cried for an hour, and then, you know, we talked about it a lot afterward because we were all just so sort of buoyed up by his abilities and his inspiration. And, you know, the crew helped him pack up his truck, and we all wished him well. I mean, I told them to lay down in front of it and not let him go, but he went. And so what we realized was basically what was possible for us. If we could find the right person who was willing to do this work, what we could accomplish would be amazing. In the last 6 months, while he was here, I think was the best 6 months that SIFPD has ever had. And that was also in large part due to Sarah Jane, Wonder Hussy. We sponsored a community event on April 15th. And it was a poker tour, as you well know, because we roped John into sitting at the Amargosa Opera House or at the Amargosa Hotel and signing up people for the poker tour. Thank you very much. But Sarah Jane, you know, brought in people from her channel, and the event was a huge success. We raised a lot of money. It was, you know, the following week I was able to report to our board of supervisors how well we were doing, and the day after that, Lucas gave me the news.
Oh, was that quick? Oh my God.
So it was from top of the mountain to, but
Down in the valley, yeah.
we have all, we have such momentum and we don't want to lose it. And so we are looking for another chief. And what I want to put out there today is what we have to offer, which monetarily is crap, really. We have, it's 20 hours a week at $18 an hour. So if you are looking for a way to make a really good living, this is not it. But if you are looking for a way to make a difference, then we have a job for you. And we have also, we've made some changes. We have an admin person who was working a small number of hours, and so when we hired Lucas, he took on the lion's share of responsibility, and Mike was basically a support person. But one of the things we realized we could do is increase Mike's administrative workload. So I know you can't read the words on these papers. Hopefully you can, this was probably a bad idea. But anyway, so this is the list of Mike's responsibilities that goes all the way down the page. And this is the new list of the chief's responsibilities, which take up less than half a page. So it would be 20 hours a week, and the chief would have full support of the SIFPD board and of the administrative person who will do all the onerous work of, hunting down titles and doing that sort of thing. What we need is someone to keep that momentum going, to build our crew, to be responsible for trainings, to oversee the fleet, make sure that it's working, to be like the linchpin of the organization, to be the lightning rod that makes all of this happen. And the other thing that we have, this is not, it's not guaranteed yet, but we are very close, we're this close to getting a grant. So I think we have the pictures, I put the pictures in the wrong order, but maybe we could show the drawing.
The drawing?
So we're very close to getting a $3.2 million grant from congressionally earmarked infrastructure funds to build a new fire station. And that drawing was sort of our envisioning of what the station would look like. We have a building, it's an old double-wide trailer. So if you went on the poker run during the event, you might have gone up to the trailer and seen why we're asking for money. It's kind of pathetic looking, but we want to build a large engine bay with a mechanic's well and with shower capabilities and laundry capabilities and decon capabilities. And we also need to establish a station in Charleston View, which is a community about 35 miles from Tacoma. It's between Tacoma and Highway 160. Like if you're taking Highway 160 into Las Vegas, there's a little Tacoma Road. If you follow that down, you come to Charleston View before you get to Tacoma. So could we see the picture of the sign? And that is the fire station in Charleston View. Right now it's just a sign. It's just a handmade, cobbled together sign that says this is the future site of SIFPD Station Number 2. We have been given this piece of land. We are extremely hopeful that we're going to get this grant. And so what we're looking for is the person who can be the fire chief who brings this to life, who makes these stations happen, who builds these communities around these fire stations, builds our crew, and makes a real difference in the world.
So what are you looking for as far as qualifications, though?
We would like someone who has...
fire science?
Yeah, who is a certified firefighter, obviously, who has some experience in training and management, fire management, like managing a crew and training and recruiting, and who has some administrative experience because this grant to do the stations will be administered through Inyo County, but we will obviously need to ride herd on the project, and he or she would need to be the point person for that project, making sure that it happens, building relationships within the community. So you need people skills, I mean, people skills are high on the list.
Yes.
And because honestly, it's one of the things a lot of us in Tacoma don't really have. So, so you need to not be,
Yeah, I got a lot of flashbacks when you were talking about that, yes.
you need to not be easily offended. You need to be willing to wade in,
Yeah.
take charge, do the work. And we, you know, it's a special district, so it has a governing board. And that board would be behind this person 100%. And yeah, so, and ideally they would be a certified EMT also, or be willing to become certified as an EMT.
I would say that would be a must in my book, anyway.
Yeah, so we need certifications and some experience. And honestly, again, we are not offering much by way of compensation, by way of real compensation. I think ideally we're looking for someone who wants
Semi-retired?
somebody retired who loves the desert.
Yes.
Finding a place to live in Tacoma and Shoshone is challenging, but we are going to install an RV space at the firehouse if that, if there's someone who has an RV and, there would be a free space to park, which, really isn't that great. But the big selling point on this is being able to build something. We're so often it seems like the fashion these days to tear things down, but we want to build something. We want to build something up, and we need your help, whoever you are out there.
So you have the, you know who to talk to, the fire district's Facebook pages. How do you find that?
You can go to Southern Inyo. If you search Southern Inyo Fire Protection District, you should be able to find the SAFPD Facebook page.
Okay.
So that's a really good way to get in touch with us. And the phone number is there, 760-852-4130. If you don't know where Tacoma is, it's about a 45-minute drive from Pahrump. You go, towards Shoshone. Like you're going toward Death Valley, take a left at Shoshone, come out that direction.
There's another way to go. It's more fun, but it's more secluded. But
yeah, and
it's
a
about
long
the same.
way.
Well, depending on where you
Oh,
live
yeah,
in town
if you come
here.
from Pahrump,
Yes.
right.
So anyway, we're out of time.
Okay.
You got the message across. It's always great to see you, and I hope nothing but the best for you in the Fire Protection District, because a lot of my love is for Tacoma. I love that place.
You've always been good to us. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
It's been good to me. Thank you. Bye-bye.